I'm just going through to see who else I know here. I see Dave Anderson there. Hello, Dave. And I see Christiana. How are you, my dear?
I'm doing great, Randy. How about you?
Just fine, thank you.
Good, good.
I recognize a lot of people in the room, actually. I see Steve Nugent here, obviously Miles and Raheem and Angela. Thanks a lot for coming out tonight. I hope everybody gets a lot of value out of this.
I'm sure they will, brother.
Absolutely. There's Miles.
All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for everybody for coming out tonight. Obviously, everybody here is looking to grow their royalty business. And we have my brother, Randy Crane, in the house. He has a system that he uses to get sales. He has brought in 20 plus people using this this system. Actually, I'm sorry, about 40 people using this system. So wants to share it with all of you guys. And without any further ado, I'll go ahead and let Randy take over. So Randy, you go ahead and do your thing, brother. I'm gonna mute myself out.
Okay, thanks very much, Raheem, and thank you, Miles. I just want you to know I appreciate the opportunity to be able to share some of my expertise with people. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just start off by sharing my screen. There it is right there. There we go. Can everybody see my screen okay? Please tell me if you can't.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. Okay, so here we go. My name is Randy Crane, and I am the Fearless Marketer. You know, it's funny. I was on Raheem's live this afternoon, and he was talking about, you know, branding yourself and how important that really is. And so I just want you to know that this is my brand. I want to thank the people with Team Legacy just for giving me the opportunity to do this. I haven't done a training call like this in quite some time, so I may seem a little rusty to you, but hopefully this is going to be entertaining, and I'm going to show you a new way for prospecting online. So I guess to get things underway here, what we're going to do is we're going to go to, I've set up slides here so that we can keep track of what we're doing. There we go. Okay. So everybody's still seeing my screen okay? People buy from who they know, like, and they trust. And I think this is a part of the business that people don't really seem to wrap their head around. You know, one of the biggest problems is that people buy from who they know, like, and trust. I mean, obviously, if they don't know you, they can't buy from you. If they don't like you, well, they probably won't buy from you. And of course, if they don't trust you, they're not going to buy from you. So the know, like, and trust factor, it all leads to the one thing, which is trust. And trust is something that is developed in any relationship you have. You know, it's like, and I use this term a lot of the time, you go into a bar and you see this, you know, pretty girl, or you see this nice looking guy on the other side of the room, and you go over to him and you say, you know, hi, my name is John. Would you like to sleep with me? Well, you know what? That's not the relationship. There's no trust there. Now, I mean, it might work, but there's still no trust. So if you want something to really develop and you want people that are going to work with you and stay with you, then you need to build up a level of trust with people. Okay? So everybody wants to buy, but no one likes to be sold. Okay? Everybody wants to buy, but nobody likes to be sold. Nobody likes that feeling that that they've just been sold. You know, and we know this because, you know, even in today's day and age, you know, there's this cool-off period. Years ago, when I was learning how to sell, we were selling vacuum cleaners door to door. And while we were selling, we always ended up having to give people a 24-hour cool-off period, Because of course, you'd go there, you'd get them all excited about the vacuum cleaner, and then of course after you leave, they start having buyer regrets. This is because there's a very little bit of time to develop the trust. Everybody wants to buy, but nobody wants that feeling of just being sold. So this all comes down to relationships and how we build our relationships with our customers and with our downline. The next thing that I want to talk about here is failure. We've always been taught that failure is such a bad thing. And I hate to disagree with the status quo, but failure in my opinion is a good thing. Failure is information. This is not the kind of failure that, when you went to school and you failed a grade or you failed a test, and you were reprimanded for it. This is not the same type of thing, and it can't be related the same way. Failure is a good thing. Failure gives you information. And when that kind of information is the information that you need to grow your business. So let me give you an example here. We're all in royalty here. So I go through a process with a fella, and he turns around and he says, no, I'm not interested. And I turn around and I say to him, well, okay, that's all well and good, but maybe you could tell me why you're not interested. Well, you know what? I just don't like the platform. I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't think I can make money at it. Whatever the case is, he's going to give me a whole list of information. And that information, I'm going to document. Now, on the other hand, when I go to sign up somebody, and I call them up and I say, hey, Brahim or Miles, are you ready to sign up? Oh, yeah, I am. What am I going to do? I'm not going to get any information from them. What I am going to get is I'm going to get a sale. Okay? So it's that information that we get from the people that say no, or the failures, for lack of a better word, from those failures that we grow our business from. It's those things that allow us to move to the next level. It's like, whoops, sorry. There we go. It's like a needle in a haystack, okay? And, everybody wants the haystack to be made out of needles. And of course, it would be a wonderful world if that were the case, but it's not that way. Okay, the haystack is made out of hay. Now the needles are inside, and the yeses or the buyers are the needles. We have to go through those needles. We have to go through the haystack in order to get to the needles that we need. And this is a process. This is something that takes time, and it takes work that we have to do this. Did you know that the average prospect, according to the American Advertising and Marketing Association, says that the average person needs to be touched 10 to 12 times before they make a decision to buy? Now, that's interesting, because that means that not only do you have to touch them with a sales call, or maybe you touch them with an email, or maybe a text message on Facebook. Maybe you have to send them another email. Maybe you have to make a phone call. It takes 10 to 12 times for that to happen. And I hear people say this all the time. They say, well, I talked to this fella today, and he decided no, he didn't want it. And I said, well, how many times have you talked to him? Well, I talked to him online. Well, how many times? Well, I talked to him once. Okay. It takes 10 to 12 times of you constantly and consistently working at your craft for people to develop into a buyer. Because it takes that time for people to get to know you and for people to know, like, and trust. Whoops, there we go. Wealth is a process. It's not an event. Wealth just doesn't happen, okay? As much as we all, and I'm sure my friend Dale and, Steve is in the call, and I'm sure Brahim and Jeff Cooper and Miles, we all agree that it would be wonderful if wealth was an event. It would be a perfect world, but it's not that way. I have a very good friend of mine, and his name is Frank Pereira, and Frank's a professional snowboarder. And I was watching a film with him a week or two ago, and we were talking about it, and I said, Frank, you make it look so simple. You're gliding down the hill on your snowboard. You go off a ramp, you do a somersault in the air, you land back on the ground. I think, oh my God, I mean, that's just amazing you can do that. And I said, you make it look so easy. And he said, yes, it is. But he says it's been the 1,000 hours of work that's gone into it. And, I was talking with Steve Nugent earlier, and he said, that's right. And he said the 1,000 times he fell. He says, you don't see the times that I actually, tripped over a piece of ice and tumbled down the hill. And you don't see the times where I, hit a rock on the hill and ran into a tree. He says, you don't see any of that. He says, because it's taken that process, that length of time to build to where he is. And that's what we all have to do too, because wealth, whether it's wealth or whether it's strength or whether it's endurance or whatever it is we're doing, requires us to stay on the process. The process is the road. And as long as we stay on the road, it's going to end at whatever it is we're looking for. So in other words, we're all kind of looking for wealth here. So the path ends at wealth. The path ends at wealth. And the only way that you can miss the mark is to get off the path. And the only way to get off the path is to quit. So as long as you don't quit, okay, you are going to succeed. You have to work at success. Success is not an event. It's not something that just happens. You have to work to make it successful. And that means that if you have to talk to a prospect 2 times, you talk to them 2 times. If you have to talk to them 20 times, you do that too. If that means you have to help him build his landing page, or you have to help him with an email, or you have to, teach him things that he needs to get on the path, this is your process of know, like, and trust. And I hear people say this all the time. They'll turn around and they'll say, well, that's really hard. This is really hard to do. And I'm sure everybody in this room has heard that at one time or another. Oh my God, this is so hard. This is so hard to do. And it reminds me just of another quick story here, and I don't want to take up a whole lot of time with it, but I have a very good friend of mine who's in the U.S. military. And he just served 3 terms overseas in the Middle East. And, he said to me, he says, he said, Randy, he says, what's really hard about doing your business? And I said, well, there's nothing really hard about it. And he says, well, he says, like, what is the worst thing that's going to happen? And I said, well, the worst thing that's going to happen is people are going to say no. And he said, yeah, is that it? And I said, yeah, some people are going to say no. But I said, don't worry about it. I said, some people are going to say yes too. He said, yeah, but what are the ones that say no going to do? And I said, well, they're probably not going to do anything. He said, well, that's not hard. He said, when I was over in the Middle East, he says they put me into a 3-foot hole that was about 5 feet deep. And he says they put a gun in my hand and I had to stay there for 5 days. So he said directly across from me was another guy, and he had a gun, and he was in, I guess, a 3-foot hole on his side. And every time I poked my head out of the hole, I was afraid that he was going to shoot my head off. He said, and for 5 days, he said, I was scared. He said, for 5 days, I had to eat, sleep, and go to the bathroom in that hole. I couldn't come out. He said, you know, Randy, that's hard. That's hard to do. And I said, wow, you know what? That is hard to do. He said, this business isn't hard. So you see, I guess the moral to this is that we live in a world that we hope to be very easy. You know, I mean, when I got into network marketing back in the 80s, there was no such thing as the internet. Well, I mean, it was, but it just wasn't what it is today. And, you know, when I started selling, I mean, we were dialing on rotary dial phones, and we thought the fax machine was like the greatest thing that ever came out. But today, I mean, we have all these tools that are available to us. This isn't hard work. What this is this is part of a process. And as soon as you come to the terms that the process is going to exist, whether you do it or whether you don't do it, or no matter what you do in your life, you know, you have kids, that's a process. You know, you have a job, that's a process. You know, you have a mother-in-law, that's a process too. Everything we do is a process. And as soon as we come to that realization that we're on a journey here, this is not something that you're going to make millions of dollars tomorrow. And this is not something that you are going to, but it's something that you're going to grow into. It's something that you're going to become a part of. And it's going to become a part of you. Okay? So that brings me to my next slide. Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We're going to look at a prospecting process here that I think is going to hopefully help you and help you along your journey. Now, most of the work that I do in prospecting, and I'm constantly prospecting for new people. So I always make a point of every morning and every afternoon, you know, you'll either find me on Instagram, LinkedIn, or Facebook, and I'm always networking with new people. Okay, and I'm going to get into that process in just a second here. So what we're looking for is we're going to be looking at 2 different prospecting systems. And at the end of this training, I'm going to give those to you, and you can utilize them as you choose. The first one we're going to talk about is people that are responding to ads in groups. And when I say in groups, it doesn't matter whether, not so much on Instagram, but in groups in LinkedIn and groups in Facebook. Now, I will tell everybody that, you know, when you're working with LinkedIn or whether you're working with Facebook, you're looking at 2 different types of groups here. The first group is when you're working with Facebook, and what we're going to look at tonight is just strictly Facebook. When you're working with Facebook, Facebook is mostly people like you, people like me. You know, it's a personal social network, and but again, too, you know, all of these people are still looking for that one opportunity to help them and help them grow their businesses, or, you know, they're looking for a new income. Where with people on LinkedIn, these are more business people and more business associated. And you know, I was talking with my friend Dale earlier tonight. And he was saying he's having very good luck on LinkedIn. And of course, you know what? Fishing on LinkedIn is always good. Okay, so here we are. So what we're going to do is the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about recruiting a recruiting script that I've used. And this is something that I had written and specifically for royalty. Okay. Now, these are people that are posting ads in groups. And I hope everybody knows what I mean by groups on Facebook. Give me 1 second here, and I'm just going to go to, where are we here? Sorry, I didn't have that part of it ready, but you know what? It's when we look at groups on Facebook, we're talking about people that are advertising for, hey, you know what? I'm looking for I'm looking for people to sign up for my downline. Okay, and at the end of this video, or sorry, by tomorrow morning when the bonuses for this all go out, I'll provide a short video on that as well for you. So what I do is I would go into a Facebook group, and I would find a person that is posting the ad. So it could be somebody like Sarah Smith, and you know, she's looking to recruit people for her cryptocurrency business, or for her Amway business, or for her Carrot Bars business, or her Herbalife, whatever it is. And what I'll do is I will go in there and I will instant message her. Okay. So, and again, like I said, I will provide a video for this, but what we'll do is we'll instant message that person. So I'll hover over a name, you'll get a little pop-up that comes up, and you'll say, send a message. And then what I'll do is I will copy this section here. And it basically says, you know, and of course I will change, obviously, first name to her name, and I'll change the affiliate name to my name. So it'll be something like, hey, Susan, my name is Randy. I caught your ad on Facebook, and I've found a fantastic way to recruit interested prospects online. As a matter of fact, it's almost foolproof. Message me if this sounds like something you'd be interested in having a look at. And then I leave it at that. Now, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wait for her response. And you know what? Maybe right away. It could be a few minutes, but whatever the case is, I'm going to wait for that response. So she's going to respond back to me, and she's going to say what most people say, yes, info, or say, what is this about, or whatever the case is. And but a lot of people will turn around and say, yes, I'm interested. Okay. Then I go to the next stage, and I copy and paste this in. That's great, Susan. Let me ask you, are you currently trying to recruit people or sell products? What we're trying to do here is we want her to engage with us. I want her to engage with me, because we're on the process to build a know, like, and trust relationship. So let me ask you, are you currently trying to recruit people or sell products? And then she'll, because she's online and you're online, she'll come back and say, oh, I'm looking at recruiting people. Are you doing network marketing, affiliate marketing, direct sales, or do you own your own business? And she'll come back and say, you know, a lot of times they'll come back and say network marketing or affiliate marketing, whatever the case is. Doesn't matter really what the answer is. That's awesome. What is your product or service? Because now what I'm doing is I'm taking an interest in who she is and what she's doing. Okay. And she's going to come back and say, well, you know, this is cryptocurrency, or this is health products, or whatever the case is. If I could show you a way, whoops, where am I here? There we are. If I can show you a way that you can promote your company online and get way more products than what way more prospects than what you're getting right now, would that be worth 10 minutes of your time to find out how to get that done? And again, I wait for the response. And a lot of times, most times, people always answer that the same way. Yes. Then we go. That's great to hear. Susan, I'm going to give you a link to my website. You'll need to provide your name and email only, and you'll see a short 2-minute video. How does that sound to you? And most people will say, great. Susan, I'm serious when I say that this process is going to change your business life forever. But we are only selecting the best people. Can I assume that you're going to click the link right now? If she says to you, no, I'm not doing it right now, don't give her the link. In other words, you tell her that, you listen, reach out to me when you're ready, and I'll provide it at that time. What we want to be able to do here is we want people to, I want to create a sense of urgency with her. Okay? So she turns around and says, yes, I can do it now. Perfect. Here is the link. And then I provide them the link. So at that point now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide her with my link. And so, perfect. Here is the link. And there you go. Message me back immediately after you've had a chance to watch the video. And if you like what you see, we can hop on a call together and I can answer any questions that you have. Sound good? And then wait for the response. And then usually what I'll do is I'll put this in at the bottom. By the way, lots of professional marketers are using this platform to build their business. It works great. Now, what are we doing here? Have I sold her anything? No. Have I pitched her on anything? No. What I'm doing is I'm creating a relationship. Okay? I'm leaving the door completely open for her to come back to me or for him to come back to me. Okay? Now, what's going to happen is when they go to my landing page and they click the link, there we go. So when she clicks the link, she's going to be landing on this page here. Now, this is a very simple page. And I think, I had a chance to sit in on a training with Cheryl Coco a couple of weeks ago, and she was talking about, the simpler the page, the better. And I've always found that too, that when you're doing a capture page, you don't want to distract them from anything. It's very, very simple. Either fill out the form or don't. Fill out the form or don't. That's it. There's no videos to watch. There's no pretty pictures. There's no recordings. There's no nothing. It's just fill out the form or don't. One process to do. Prospecting has never been easier. Recruiting just became fun. Watch this 2-minute video now. They fill out the form, and that goes into your back office. Yay. And that brings them to this page. Prospecting has never been easier. Recruiting just became fun. Okay? And here they play the short 2-minute video. And if you notice here, at the bottom, I have watch the next video. Click here. And I don't have that loaded, I'm sorry. But when they click here, this takes them to another page. Now, I don't have to gather any more information, but the next one that brings them to is about a 14-minute. But if I go to my royalty back office, I'll be able to see that they actually filled out the form here, that they actually, when they click the button here, that's going to show up in my analytics. When they click this button here, that will also show up in my analytics. So I'll be able to see who's actually watched all the videos. So that's the process for doing that I use in what we call backlinking. So what we're doing is we're backlinking to the people that are posting the ads. Now, there's an old saying in marketing, and that is that if you want to find people for your business, okay, or you want to find new customers, or in this case, you want to find new recruits, you go to where they are. And where are they? Well, they're in Facebook groups. They're in LinkedIn groups. Okay? You go to a group that's work from home. Go to another one called MLM. Go to another one that says, make money in Canada and the U.S. working from home. Whatever they are, you can do a search on those on Facebook, and they're going to give you reams of groups that you can go into. All of these people are posting, and they're all looking for one thing primarily. They're all looking to recruit, and every one of them have the same thing in common. And anybody who's been in groups I'm sure will agree that, how many times have you seen an ad that says, hey, start making money in cryptocurrency today? And you look down into the comments, and the comments are all crickets. Nobody's commenting. That person's struggling. That person is perfect for you. Does anybody have any questions so far?
Man, I just got to say, those the way you lay out that funnel is amazing. It's amazing.
Thank you very much.
You set up you put the 2-minute video, and then you link to a longer video that has more information.
Yes.
Powerful.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's move along, because I you know what, I don't want to make this into an all-night event. But what I'm going to do is we want to talk now about backlinking to people responding to ads in groups. This is kind of my favorite one. And we'll just start at the beginning. So now, in the beginning, we talked about people that were posting the ads. We're not talking about posting the ads now. We're talking about the people that are commenting on the ads that people are posting. So we're going to start again, and you're going to find that it is very similar. Hey, John, my name is Randy, and I see that you've been looking for a way to make lots of money online. I have got involved in a fantastic business that earns me well over $4,000 per month. We work as a team here and help each other succeed. Message me if this sounds like something you'd be interested in having a look at. So that's pretty enticing, wouldn't you say? I know. I get good responses with this. And of course, now I'm going to wait for the response, because we always wait for the response. So John responds to me. And of course, we do it on the same process too. Where he's made his comment on the ad, we just click on, hover over his name. It'll come up with a little pop-up, and it'll say, message him. And you just click the message button and send him an instant message. So as soon as he responds, he says, yes, I'm interested. That's great. John, let me ask you, are you currently doing online marketing, or are you looking for work? And they'll tell you, I'm doing online marketing, or, whatever the case is. If he says I'm looking for work, then you can pretty much, move on to the next question. Have you ever done network marketing or affiliate marketing or direct sales before? We're taking an interest in who he is and what he's doing. Yes, I have. No, I haven't. That's awesome. What is your product or service? And if he doesn't have one, he'll say, well, I don't really have a product or service right now, which is good for you. And if he says, well, yes, I'm selling cryptocurrency, or I'm selling health-related products, that's good for you too. Okay, but wait for the response. If I could show you a way that you can promote a company online and make a minimum of $2,000 per month, would that be worth 10 minutes of your time to find out how to get that done? And wait for him to respond. 9 times out of 10, they'll always say yes. That's great to hear. John, I am going to give you a link to my website. You'll need to provide your name and email only, and you will see a short 2-minute video. How does that sound to you? Doesn't this remind you of the last one we went through? Little few changes. Wait for his response. John, I am serious. This is a serious opportunity, and we are only selecting the very best people. Can I assume that you're going to click the link right now? And if he says yes, great. Can I also ask you to message me back immediately after you've seen the video? There you go. If he says yes, give him the link. If he says no to either one of these questions, don't send the link. Because you need to be in a position to build that relationship. You're not going to sell somebody who doesn't know, like, and trust you. This is your business. You have to take control of your business. And let me ask you a question. If the guy says to you, if I said to you that this is a serious opportunity and we are selecting only the best people, can I assume that you're going to click the link right now and you say to me, no, I'll do it later? What does that tell you about the person? It tells you that they're not serious. That's why I said this is a serious opportunity. Can I also ask you to message me back immediately after you've seen the video? Oh, no, I can't. I've got my children to look after. It takes 2 seconds to send me a note saying, I watched the video. Can we touch base later? You see? Don't fall into people's laziness. If he says, yes, I will message you back right after the video. Perfect. Here's the video. Now, once you message me back, and if you like what you see, then we can hop on a call together. And I can answer any questions that you have. Sound good? And that's it. And this is all done without opening your mouth. This is all done without you having to pick up the phone, without you having to, we're prospecting here. We're prospecting here. This is a process that we're going through. And I think it's really important that when we live in a world of social media, that we adapt to that mandate. That mandate is social media. So it's texting. And this is what this is designed for. So how much money can we be making? Well, I've gone through my own studies on this, and I've actually really worked through them. Just 10 daily contacts. If you do nothing more than 10 daily contacts, 2 to 3 people will respond, which is approximately 20%. That's 12 people per week that are responding. And from those 12 people per week, 3 to 4 are going to sign up. That's an additional 12 to 15 new signups per month. Now, what does that mean in terms of royalty? Well, if you've got 12 to 15 people directly sponsored to you, okay, you're making you're up to the 365 mark. Now you're probably past that. You're probably into the $1,000 a month mark. But what if you did that 20 contacts a day? And I'm talking about 20 contacts, 20 messages out per day, where you send out the first caption. Okay? Well, that means you're going to get 4 to 6 people per day that are going to respond, approximately 20%. And that's 25 people per week. And from the 25 people per week, you're going to close 5 to 7 per week. Okay? Out of that, that's 20 to 25 new signups per month, providing we put our best foot forward and we build a relationship based on knowing, liking, and trusting. So as long as we're doing that, that's what's in store. Now, what would happen to your business if you could sign up 20 to 25 new signups a month? And what would happen to it if you did that for 3 months? Wouldn't that be cool? How would that change your life? Because remember something, royalty is all about It's not about making the sale. It's all about the residual income. It's all about residual income. But again, a sale in this particular industry is a process, as it is in every industry. Closing a sale is never an event. It's always a process. So that's it for my presentation. I hope everybody got something out of it, and I'll be glad to answer any questions in just a minute. But I do want to tell you that there is, I've got some bonuses that I'm going to give you. But before we get into the bonuses, I do want to tell you that I'm going to be providing you with a copy of the 2 scripts that I've given you. Okay. And I also have some additional tools that I'm going to provide for you. So I'm going to be giving you the top 10 tools that I use to help grow my business. This will include different things like, what Facebook sites to go to, what Facebook groups to go to, LinkedIn groups, things like that. Okay. The second bonus I'm going to provide to you is going to be a free follow-up script. So this is something that you can text with, and it's also a follow-up script that you can actually use over the phone. So there'll be 2 follow-up scripts for you as well. And the third bonus that I'm going to provide for you is a free sales funnel. Yay! A sales funnel that you saw in that I showed you earlier. We're going to be sending that out to your royalty account. Okay? But I do have something to ask you. Okay? In order to get all of this stuff, I do need you to go to my Facebook page, and I will be putting up a post there in a few minutes. And what I would like you to do is just comment on. I would certainly like you to like my page, and leave me a comment under the post. And for everybody who leaves a comment and everybody who likes the page, I will be sending you out all the bonuses that'll all be coming to you by email by tomorrow morning. Just so everybody knows, you can find me on Facebook. My name, I go by Fearless Marketer, so www.facebook.com/Fearless Marketer. And I'm ready to take on questions. Anybody have any questions?
Guys, feel free to unmute yourself if you have any questions.
I do. Ding, ding, ding.
Hi.
Okay, hi. So if you are reaching out to people in groups, how many do you suggest so that no one gets, thrown in that beautiful Facebook jail?
You know what? That was part of my thing tonight, and thank you for telling me that, because I was going to mention that. If I find that 10 in the morning and 10 in the afternoon is easy. If you do 20 in the morning and 20 in the afternoon, if they have moderators on, you could wind up in Facebook jail. And I'm sure everybody knows what Facebook jail is. I know this young lady does. So yeah, I try to keep to, 10 to 15 in the morning. I do 10 to 15 in the afternoon. I switch over to LinkedIn. I can go 10 to 15 on LinkedIn because we're contacting contacts at that point. So yeah, I switch between the two. And but yeah, Facebook jail is the one you got to watch out for. And I would say 10 to 15. Any other questions?
So you can actually do this with Instagram as well, right?
Absolutely, you can. Now, I was going to bring up Instagram, but I haven't had a whole lot of personal experience with Instagram doing it. So I didn't really want to train something that I haven't really had a lot of experience with. But I know for sure that it works very well on LinkedIn, and it works very well on Facebook, and I can only assume that it works just as well on Instagram as well.
Is your post on LinkedIn different because there are more professional people there?
Yeah, like I said, I find the script works just as well on LinkedIn as it does on Facebook. And but yes, I usually find on LinkedIn I wind up going into, when I'm starting to build relationships, people want more information. The other thing is that I find about LinkedIn as well, people are more interested in the on the actual service or becoming a customer as opposed to becoming an affiliate.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good. Okay, just before everybody goes, remember, if you want the bonus offers and all that sort of thing, go to my Facebook page. It's www.facebook.com/Fearless Marketer. I'm going to be putting up a post there in about 2 minutes. Just like my page and leave me a comment on the post.
Thank you so much, brother.
Miles, my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Amazing.
Thank you,
brother.
Randy.
Thank
That was awesome, brother. Appreciate it.
Okay. You bet. Take care, guys.
Nice job, man. Thanks.
All right, guys. Thanks for everybody for showing up. Let's go. Let's go get it, y'all.